Welcome back. Next, I want to talk to you about the current economic and legislative cycle that has really perpetuated a growth in bankruptcy alternatives and the need for some of those alternatives to be available in the marketplace for economic participants. So let's talk about what I like to call the financial perfect storm. This is, couldn't be a worse combination of events that has catapulted us into a very difficult economic times. I'm sure that a lot of people that are going to be watching this video are very aware of what's going on out there, but I just wanted to dissect it, and this is going to help you, explain to the clients why we do what we do, why are we here, and how did they get in this mess. First, let's face it, American citizens overspend. Generally, we like to have nice things. It is not cheap to live in this country. And, the old saying goes, keeping up with the Joneses is alive and well in American society. And I'm not saying everyone is a bad steward of their finances. I'm just saying that a lot of times people get in over their heads. Or, you lay out a budget and you go out and purchase items that at the time fit your budget, and then things change in your life and there's a shortage there. Every single month, if your expenses exceed your income, you've got a shortage, and generally that shortage is subsidized by the use of credit cards. So this is a pretty common occurrence in this country where the savings rate is extremely low. People like to have nice things in a country that's expensive to live in. There's a shortage that's occurred, and they subsidize that shortage with the use of credit cards. And at the end of the day, there is limits to how much credit people have extended to them, and sooner or later, when it's gone, and you got to pay the piper, so to speak. Let's talk about another thing that's occurring. So we've got overspending, and people have been doing that for a long time. And one of the most popular ways to finance that overspending and living beyond your means over the course of the last decade has been utilizing your home equity to pay off your credit card debt. Now, that's all fine and good, but what happened in the recent years with the housing market, values dropped substantially and the equity was gone. So as we all know, and a lot of us have lived it, it is not as easy to get credit extended to you, but the real estate market is so flat that all of that equity people have been utilizing to shuffle their credit card debt from their cards to let their house take the burden, it's no longer a viable option. It's gone with the wind, as it were. So if there's no equity, there's no ability to refinance. Let's talk about credit since we're on the subject. When the housing market declined and banks literally had trillions of dollars in bad loans made, that kind of forced their hand. Wall Street took a very hard look at what are we doing here. We're investing in financial institutions that have really put a lot of loans out there with our money that were not good loans. They gave loans to people that should not have had loans. They were making risky loans, no income verification, stated income, not validating assets, and in some cases not even verifying employment. These were people that probably should not have had the credit extended to them that they did. But you know what? It happened. But what Wall Street's response is, that's fine. You went out, you weren't a good steward of our money, we're going to shut off the spigot. So when Wall Street stopped investing in buying these mortgages from banks, they ran out of money to lend to anyone that wasn't in a very small box as far as an eligible candidate to get credit extended to you. So what has that done? That's made it tough for people to get mortgages. It's made it tough for people to refinance their mortgages. It's made it tough for people to even get personal loans to potentially pay off credit cards. It's made it tough for them to get new credit cards to pay off credit cards. So the subsidization, as it were, is drying up. So your home equity's gone. You're not able to subsidize on any additional loans or credit because the market's almost gone away. And let's throw on top of that we have an 10 to 20% unemployment rate at the point of this video. Things are getting tough out there. People are laid off, they're losing their jobs, and there is no place to turn to subsidize the shortage that is occurring. Now, in the past, one of the biggest things that we've been able to turn to as economic participants is bankruptcy. Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13, depending on which direction you wanted to go. But in 2005, there was new bankruptcy legislation passed. And what this did, it made it much more difficult to become eligible for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which is the preferred bankruptcy, the get out of jail free card, if you will, where all your debts are wiped clean. There is a means test associated with that, and unless you're pretty much desolate, you're going to have a hard time getting approved for Chapter 7 and getting discharged. So the bankruptcy laws tighten, and now you're in a situation where even bankruptcy's become a difficult option. So there has to be a new answer, and that's really where debt settlement has sprung up as a viable alternative. Our next module will be Module 3, who is our clients and what do we do?